just how you like it. By the fan, for the fan. Ain't no frontin' and faking. It's sports talk with a twist, something you cannot miss. So tune in every week and listen to what we gotta say. The choices of the voices, all roads lead to Dabo. Top it off with some pepper. Scotty, tell them do better. Eddie running the point. B-Life gotta digress it. It's fourth and goal, game on the line. We punch it in the end zone. The crowd going crazy, cause it's another W. Bloopers come and go, but the bros remain solid. From the Lamb to PA, Fayetteville to the 843, the Sports Bros podcast coming at you every week.
Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scotty D, and your host, the head of creative, Eddie Cool. The Sports Bros Podcast is a sports podcast that's by the fans, for the fans, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? This be your boy, the almighty B-Live, 1/3 of the Sports Bros Podcast. Well, as you can see and most likely hear, well, you could hear and most likely see maybe, that we are doing things just a little bit different here at the Sports Bros Podcast this week for episode 177. I am going solo dolo with the Sports Bros Podcast. You know why? Every now and again, we needed to reset, take a break, and come back with it. But I couldn't just take this week off because so much has happened. And I'm going to deliver it to you, episode 177. If the H.O.C. allows me to do this by myself, I wouldn't trust me either. But here we go. We're going to start off top of the order, man. NFL action to its fullest. I don't know about y'all, but this NFL season has been weird, to say the least. I don't know if it's the 17-game season, just 3 preseason games, nobody played in preseason. But we're in week 7. You think some of the kinks would have been remedied, it's been worked out. But man, oh man, I don't know about it. Am I seeing a different NFL season than others? I don't know. But yeah, let's start off. Let's start off first with the quarterback play. As of course, that's the money position. That's what's really going on. Let's start off by, can I list the top 5 quarterbacks in the league by record? Because at the end of the day, you could be the superstar quarterback, throw for 5,000 yards, all these touchdowns, all these accolades. But at the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. And that's what I want to highlight, because this isn't your typical top 5 quarterback room. But as it sits right now, after week 7, your top 5 quarterbacks by record, wins and losses, start off as such. Number 1, 6-0, Philadelphia Eagles. They were on a bye this week, so we didn't get to see them. But Jalen Hurts. Do you remember a lot of talk a couple of years ago when he was drafted in the league? Oh, man, he's just a running back playing. He's a running back playing QB. He can't do this. He can't make the big throws. Well, shut up. Shut what I call the hell up, because 6-0 says a lot. A lot of football to go, but I'm telling you, the Philadelphia Eagles look like they are a complete team right now, led at the helm by Jalen Hurts. Stop the bias. Stop the dual threat, all this stuff. He's getting it done. And that's what it's all about. And I'm going to start this trend real quick with Jalen Hurts. I'm going to continue to go down the list. Because number 2 on the list 6-1. A very shocking and surprising 6-1, but you got to put respect with the K on his name. The number 2 quarterback is Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. If it was up to the talking heads, this was his last year. He had no job. It was over for him. He would be relegated as a backup for the rest of his career. Is he a superstar? But he's at the quarterback position for the second best team in all of the NFL. And that right now sits as the New York Giants. Put some respect on their name. Danny Dimes. Hey, do your thing with the reemergence of Saquon Barkley. Hey, man, oh man. We shall see. Number 3. Okay, this was pretty obvious. Now, come on now. We pretty much put him, we've already given him the trophy, and it's deservingly so. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, 5-1. Had a bye week this week as well, man. Fantasy football was hurting. And that was more personal than anything. I know a lot of people out there playing fantasy football, but I had Josh Allen in one league in particular. Woo, Lord. And see what happened. See, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Smooth D Star Walker, JR, my boy. Yeah, you won because I did not have Josh Allen in the lineup. And you had Joe Burrow, and he's a reemerging Joe Burrow. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Yeah, you beat me. Yeah, you won. But I'm still solely in first place in the Sports Bros Fantasy Football League. 3-time champion, all those accolades. I do what I do. It is what it is. But yeah, Josh Allen is that dude. And man, oh man, he's still the MVP favorite, Super Bowl favorite. And he's on this list for a reason. But yes, there's 2 teams that are slightly better than him in the win-loss column. But he sits at number 3. Number 4 coming in. Oh, you must have you forgot about me, did you? Oh, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings, 5-1. They also had a bye week this week. Whew. He ain't your best fancy quarterback, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Y'all forgot about that team up in Minnesota, Skull Nation. Yeah. There's a new leader in the NFC North. I'm gonna get there. I'm trying my best doing this by myself, not to get ahead of myself. But yes, Kirk Cousins comes in at number 4 and number 5. Oh man, y'all already know who it is. Patrick Mahomes, that dude, Kansas City. Woo! Yeah, it's just that he is that dude, and I'm going to talk about him also in just a little bit. But I want to emphasize that who's not on this list? That, it's a struggle. And I'm going to use this segue to go into my next topic of the NFL and what I learned and what shocked me. And really, at the end of the day, my catchphrase, what happened week 7 of the NFL? Quarterbacks that are not on that top 5 list when it comes to wins and losses. And just overall play in general. Aaron Rodgers. What happened? There's just going to be times where teams, they're just going to be better. But when you lose to a backup quarterback, when you lose to a team that's in utter disarray, just like it's a terrible situation. Aaron Rodgers, you lost to the Washington Redskins no-name football team Commanders. So you got to say the whole name, all of it. Got to include all of it. I know, politically correct, blah, blah, blah. That ain't the, hey, just want to go, this episode just ain't gonna be it. You're dealing with your boy, the Almighty. It's the Commanders. It's the Commanders. What is really going on? I just, uh, mm. Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna need you to do better. But how can you? You don't trust anybody to throw the ball to. You've got still two dynamic running backs, but if you've become one dimensional, it's tough. It's tough. And these are NFL defenses. I don't know what to tell you. But man, oh man. Yeah. Whew. Another quarterback that isn't on that top 5 list that has been already done as the greatest of all time. What you cannot do ever is lose to the 4th string quarterback to a franchise that is in complete disarray, complete rebuild mode. Traded away is number 1 offensive weapon. Traded away, I'll say it, a top one of the top. I can't do it. Robbie Anderson, I just can't do it. A mid-level. They traded away Robbie. You form your own opinion. But when you don't even score a touchdown and you lose 21-3 to a team that's clearly rebuilding, fired their head coach. What happened? Tom Brady, maybe, just maybe, you should have stayed retired. I don't know what to tell you. Man. But you know, he is what he needs at this moment of time. But honorable mention to one quarterback, a couple things I learned, a couple things that stood out to me with this week 7. Guess who's back? Back again. Joe Cool's back. Tell a friend. Joe Burrow. Man, just lit up the Atlanta Falcons. 481 passing yards. And anybody can get the. I mean, he was throwing the ball to anybody and everybody. They almost wrote them off. Offensive line got worse. This ain't got it all together, but they're not sitting 4-3. And with the way this season is already shaping out to be, 4-3 is, hey, it has you tied for the division lead. And you'd be in, and that's in a lot of divisions. One division in particular that is most likely going to have a team under 500 win the division, and the NFC South. It is. I said what I said. So I mean, 4-3 for the AFC reigning champs. They're catching their stride. They could be very dangerous weeks to come. Joe Burrow. Oh yeah, he's that dude. He is that dude with those weapons. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Oh yeah, Joe Mixon Dixon. Yeah, that's them boys. Whew. Dynamic offense right there. 481 yards. Joey B. Joe Cool. Hey, do what it do. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They take on the number 1 defense in the NFL, and with a newfound shiny new toy that they took from a team. It's okay. So I said I wasn't going to cry. But we here now. It's okay. It's all right. Run CMC, it just still didn't look right for you to be in 49er red. But all that hype didn't matter to Patrick Mahomes at all. Not one bit. Because, man, he was Dylan, slinging the rock, could not be stopped. Ooh, buddy. Patrick Mahomes, don't be so mean to him. Yeah, it's early in this NFL season. There's a lot to be written to this story. Man, who would have thought the likes of Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson would have better records than Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. It's going to be an interesting season for sure. And that's what I saw when it came to the NFL. Stay tuned, because this is actually my favorite part of the show right here, because it features me and all about me in college football. You know what time it is. Stay tuned for the B-Live Top 5. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, cats, dogs, kangaroos, wallabies, marsupials, and all animals in between and things, this is the B-Live Top 5.
You know what time it is. Oh, yes, and I got to bring it to you hot. This time, it's college football and your boy, 5. This is my own. I don't care about the coaches, bureaucrats, and all these. It is what it is. But, man, dude, you fucking throw that out there. My B-Live Top 5, the top has not changed that much, but I had to shuffle just a couple things based off of what I saw this past weekend. And so I'm going to come in hot with my number 5. Because I had to drop them. I just have, there's the slightest bit. We really don't, because it was already confirmed right after the game that there is not a quarterback controversy. But man, when you bench your starter in a top 25 matchup, gives you something to think about. Clemson, I bleed orange, baby. I'm all in. But man, I'm glad we pulled out that win. But if it comes to being in the top 4 and in the playoffs, I need 60 minutes. I don't need a hot 20, 25. I need all 60. And I need DJ I need a full 60 from you, especially. I got to drop y'all down to number 5. This is a very strong precedent, though, and make changes when they are necessary. So this could be dangerous for teams moving forward, because it's very hard to plan for both quarterbacks. But we shall see. Coming in at number 4, and I'm telling you right now, Heisman favorite in my eyes, Hendon Hooker and the Tennessee Volunteers. I have you at number 4. I really want to rank you just a little bit higher. I want to see that defense against. I want to see it. We'll see it. I believe it's November 5th. We'll see it. Tennessee, Georgia. Everything's on the line. SEC East. Most likely this team will clinch and go to the SEC championship, whoever wins this game. Number 3, Michigan Wolverines. Again, it's simply put, everything's going to be on the line. At the end of the season, who's going to represent the Big Ten East? Michigan or Ohio State. And let's not sleep on Penn State. I mean, but Michigan beat Penn State, but Penn State now goes against Ohio State. We shall see who all these teams really are very soon. Michigan did prove their point against Penn State. Now let's see what happens. Number 2, Georgia. Everybody loves Georgia. They're just as dominant as ever. And everybody let go of Kent State and Missouri. I'm just not going to do it. You could shut me what they call all the way up when you face Tennessee, because you have not faced anybody yet. It's just good for Oregon. I mean, what's looking good for Georgia is the fact that Oregon is doing what it's doing out in the Pac-12, because they are undefeated. They just handled business against UCLA. So that looks good for Georgia, because they dominated Oregon. So they have faced Oregon. But at the end of the day, tell me something against Tennessee, November 5th. Tell me something good. Tell me. The process of elimination. Ohio State off the board. And they haven't been at 100%. Jackson Smith Enigma, I can't say his name, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He is have them on a snap count if he does come back this week against Penn State. And so their only win against anybody really has been Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is a shell of who we thought they were. But Ohio State has been putting up 49 points against all of their opponents. They took a day off. That Notre Dame, they got that defense. They just say it was a tough bout, but so we shall see. You have Ohio State, Michigan coming up, which will determine who makes it to the Big Ten championship. You have Georgia, Tennessee coming up, which will determine who goes to the SEC championship. Clemson has already faced 3 top 25 teams. Now it's just they win the ACC championship. There, but they can't afford a blemish. But that's why I have them number 5. And that right there is your Be Live top 5. But y'all already know, not so fast featuring the teams what happened. How do I like to say it? Overrated. You are not who we thought you were, and I will not let you simple. Coming in at number 5 in both of my number 5. Ooh. If you want to be one of the top 4 teams in the nation, DJ Uiagalelei has to play better. That running game is nasty. That defense is nasty. But 27 points, benching your starter, that's not going to work in the top 4. It worked against Syracuse, and Syracuse is a top 15 team. Regardless of what people want to say. They just think they hear the name Syracuse, they think, basketball school. They've been ranked before. They've been undefeated before. They put up some good teams, and they've always played Clemson tough. But Clemson. This is from your boy. I believe you're not looking top 4. You're looking like the odd man out right now. But you win, you're pretty much it. Don't be overrated again, in my eyes. Get it together. Do better. I said what I said. Number 4. BYU. Let's talk about it. FBS independent. You're independent before you want to keep all the money. You think you can do all by yourself as opposed to joining the conference. And with this conference realignment, they say they want to pocket all the money and they'll make their own schedule and show you strong competitors. And you're supposed to handle those teams that are not so strong. But this is not me undermining Liberty. Let's this way. When they beat you by 27 points, almost 4 touchdowns, BYU, and this whole independent thing, because we had you up there. We had you ranked up. You were the top in a nice little New Year's Six bowl. And it just ain't doing what I don't see it. It's a tough situation. Get it together. You're not going to be ranked with me anymore. That's okay. This is just 27 points to Liberty. Trying to hear all that. I know what you're saying. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, number 3. I'll talk huge disappointment that I'm in. Being the fan that I am. In SEC, this, SEC, it just means more. I guess because we need this team to do better. And they just refuse to. All the hype, all the talking heads, I didn't believe it started, but I was hoping that they would be better. They were ranked very high at the beginning of the season. Basketball. Man, you lost that? Y'all were over teams. It just this day. 20 got H.O.C. Jimbo Fish to the game. You have sucked. Don't give you because they haven't lost their Texas A&M. What's the absent coach? Yeah. It's a simple fact. And you walk to the game. SEC, you just me all this time. No. Lane. I don't believe it. Lost to get them. And then loses to the States better than Ole Miss. Oh, don't go. I 25-point loss to LSU to old fake accent. Oh, bro. Brian Kelly. Oh man, they feel themselves at LSU too. I don't like them either. I ain't let go of two nicknames. I ain't like that season. We were up by 10 against them. Oh, Brian, Eli, come on, bring it back. You could do this. Oh, Miss, you are not who we thought you were. Y'all were riding high on the Kiffin train, the Lane train, as they like to say. It just ain't it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Be Live, not top five. Overrated. And that's it for college football. We got some games coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I promise you, I'm gonna bring you all the noise coming up. Oh, and I got nothing but time next week because Clemson's on a bye before they go face Notre Dame. So next week I'm gonna be watching all the other games. Well, I do that anyway, but I have nothing but time. Just be your boy, the Almighty Be Live, the Be Live top five, and the Be Live not top five. You know what? You probably listened to me enough today. You know, I love my college football, I love pro football. Baseball, I ain't even gonna lie to you right now. I'm a little sad. Um, the World Series is set, and I believe I called it. Um, I was hoping that the Padres would put some magic together. They did not. I think that the Phillies are the hotter team. I think I said that. I did say that. I did not expect the Astros to sweep the Yankees. That I didn't expect them to sweep. I knew they were the better team, but I didn't think that the Yankees bats were that cold. They're just ice cold, like Andre 3000, big boy, outcast, ice cold. All right. No. This is, I, I don't know what to tell you, but and now Aaron Judge is I think he's a free agent. What are the Yankees going to do? But yeah, the World Series is set. Astros versus Phillies, and I'm still. God, this is painful, but as I said before, I just think that the Phillies are they're hot. Now the Astros just were in the World Series. Will they take another L against I mean Atlanta Braves light? Because that's the Phillies look exactly like the Braves did last year. Hot at the right time. We shall see this Friday on Fox, the World Series. Astros versus Phillies. Yeah, I'll be watching because it's a World Series. Come on. That's sports, bro. That's what I do. With that being said, I've been informed by the head of creative and the money man, Scotty D, that we are going to continue with the choices of the voices question. What do y'all feel about Devontae Adams? Should he be suspended, fined, or nothing should happen with his interaction, the altercation per se, with the cameraman on the side of the field a couple weeks ago? We're looking to see more answers. We'll give you another week to opine upon the situation. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into Around a Pepper. And I don't have some imaginary girl sneezing and putting her boogers on me. So let's just go right into it. My first pepper point. See what happened. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just put this out. You know how I'm a proponent of the weird and funny names when it comes to athletics. So, yeah, I've mentioned like Equanimus and Amon Ross, St. Brown, Hingle McCringleback. Now that's Key and Peele, I know. But I've also made the likes of the coldest to ever do it. Crawford. I mentioned Kool-Aid McKinstry. The coldest ever do it. He's at Nebraska. Kool-Aid McKinstry is with Alabama. And you got old General Booty I forget what school he's at, but that's an actual name, General Booty. But hey, this is what the parents named them. It is what it is, and parents will be naming their kids some crazy things just for recognition. And I mean, always nice when taking their money. I've already mentioned on the show a few weeks back that the coldest got him an NIL deal in Nebraska with the heating. What was it? Heating, what HVAC? You know what HVAC stands for? Heating, venting, air conditioning. Y'all know it. He got to deal with them. He's the coldest. He is now sponsoring an air conditioning company. So just think about it. If you were to think of anybody across the board that should be sponsored, what name just pops up in your head? Are you stumped? Can you think of it off the top? You can't? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, North Carolina up there. You go to actually give it away. He plays basketball for the Tar Heels. He is inked an NIL deal with Ease Plumbing. And I'm talking about none other than Leaky Black. Come on. Leaky Plumbing. Boy, oh boy. It's what it is, what it is. But man, it's just. Hey, oh yeah, by the way, Kool-Aid McKinstry actually does have an NIL deal with Kool-Aid. Just found that out as well. So that just works out perfect. But yeah, deal with East Plumbing and Air, a company in Concord, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. The University of North Carolina Tar Heels preseason. We are anticipating basketball already started. A couple of weeks, man. So, then you go moving on. Oh, gas, all the other things, everything just stinks. You would think all of us are trying to pull double duty, including your boy here, because I had to get me a little side gig, give me a little extra money. You can see your boy on Wednesdays and Sundays at Cheers 2 Sports Lounge here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, 2803 Rayford Road. Your boy is coming back to the karaoke DJ scene. Let's get it. Let's go. Yes, sir. Wednesdays and Sundays. Holla at me. So I'm back to do a little double duty. Just actually, I don't beautiful thing that we do. Go fun, entertain the folk in the world, that whole dating world and the entertainment world that they do. Now they've got their own Manning cast. Pat McAfee's doing his thing, WWE, and now College Game Day. He's doing a little double duty thing. But this is the first that I've seen where an active player, even Tom Brady, has his deal after he's done playing. Bro, just retire. Just right now, actually. Just retire right now. $375 million over 10. I'd retire right now. Let it go. You literally, it's over, bro. It's over. I'll talk to that. Bring it back. Ain't about him just yet. But this is the first I've ever heard of an active player talking about Chase Daniel. He is, and the loss also pulls double digits after Monday Night Football games on NFL Game Day Final for the NFL Network. Now, one would pose, well, if he does that after the game on Monday nights, what happens when he plays on Monday nights? Well, that just happened because the Denver Broncos, which once again had a primetime game. They bet not better not. I had to go country. They bet not have any more primetime games. I'm sick of saying it. Broncos country. Let's run. I'm just so sick of that. They ain't doing it. $250+ million they paid for Russell Wilson, and he's terrible. And he was hurt this game this past. Oh boy. Whew. Hey. But yeah, the previous Monday night, Chase Daniel was on the sideline, backing up Justin Herbert, and the game goes into overtime. But yeah, it's Monday night. He still got a second job. So he literally goes into the locker room, showers up, gets dressed and everything, and makes his way right onto the NFL Network set to be on his second job doing analysis and commentary for the NFL Network. Talk about having two jobs, one right after the other. But hey, Chase Daniel, doing your thing. Hey, I ain't mad at you at all. Cannot knock the hustle. Which leads me into a short little segue to my third and final pepper point, because I mentioned him. I've mentioned him a couple times on the show, and I'm a little upset that he's gotten so much airtime with me doing the podcast by myself. But this, I got to do it. I got to do it. I thought about this long and hard throughout this entire week because there's a premise that we don't cross that threshold when it comes to certain topics. With the Sports Bros podcast, we keep it sports, but this has to be addressed. It has to be, and I'm going to make this short, simple, and sweet. I need some of that same energy because when Tom Brady mentioned that all season to military deployments, let's not ever do that again, ever. Why did you remotely a smart thing to do? Your net worth was probably, I didn't even look it up. But I'm putting it this way. The money that you're making in this, I believe it's your 25th season that you're making this one season, are the military personnel, if not all of them. Yeah, even your top generals don't make their end in their entire career. You have apologized. And that's cool. Including my father and my grandfather. And yeah, yeah. And there's a certain former athlete that his actions were misconstrued and the masses took it as disrespectful to the military. And he got blackballed. Never to see the field again. Never got signed. I want that. I'm not going to say this. I don't want that same energy. But it should be mentioned. It should be talked about. And that person deserves an apology. Because his actions were misconstrued. Your words were exactly what you meant at the time. And then when the backlash came out, you're like, I probably shouldn't have said that. But of course, we're going to get swept under the rug. But I accept the apology, but I'm not. Me accepting your apology means absolutely nothing. Anybody really accepting your apology doesn't really mean anything. Just don't. Just don't. It shouldn't be swept under the rug. I think even just each time that you even step up on the mic, you should be constantly reminding the masses of the sacrifice that many of our armed forces make every single day, not being with their families during holiday seasons and missing a lot of major events in their families' lives, risking their lives for our freedom. Every time you are on the mic, Tom Brady, for the rest of your life, that $375 million contract for 10 years, you're doing commentary. I want to hear appreciation for the military every single time. I said what I said, and that's my third and final pepper point. I apologize to my other two bros. I know we usually don't talk about those issues, social matters and stuff like that. We usually stick to sports. I just couldn't let this go. Tom Brady, you should be ashamed. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to stick to sports from here on out. That's what I do, is be your boy, the All Podcast. Check us out on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Your boy comes up with TikTok videos every single week. Tell me what you feel about my top 5 and not top 5. Let us know. We are trying to grow this to lengths beyond because we are one of a kind. We are the Sports Bros. And in closing, do something for yourself and do something nice for someone else. I forgot the part with the pepper where you enlighten, entertain, educate, and something other. Yes, this is all his stuff. I don't know what I just be on the other end of it, doing what I do, sliding away, figuring out what exactly is all going on, and showing the logo. And I'm out. Episode 177 of the Sports Bros Podcast. See you next week with all 3 of us. You know what time it is. Yes, sir. And I'm out.
Hey, it's Eddie Cool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. And do you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life? Wait a minute, don't answer that. The answer is yes. And I know you want some more of the Sports Bros Podcast in your life. Do us a small favor. Go to the description box, Click our Linktree link, and you'll see all the links on how to follow the Sports Bros Podcast. Once again, thanks for listening.